lecture, we will talk about solving quadratic equations. Let's review factoring first. We know x squared plus 12x plus 36. In order to factor this one, we need to split 36 into two numbers, such that if we add those two numbers together, we should have the coefficient of x, which is 12. Now, since we have a 6, so here we have x plus 6. And since we have another 6, so here we have x plus 6 again. X plus 6 times x plus 6 is actually x plus 6 squared, which is not x squared plus 6 squared. We know x squared is that. 6 squared is 36. So you know there is a middle term 12x over there. Now let's look at the relationship between 12, 36, and 6. We know 12 divided by 2, you can have a 6. And then 6 squared is 36. So you go like a circle. Okay? Now, let's, based on the things above, finish the square here. X plus what? Plus 6x plus which number? We can have a x plus which number then squared. Based on the relationship we had it upstairs, 6 divided by 2, we have a 3, so we should put 3 here. And you can see here 12 divided by 2, we have a 6 here. And then 6 squared, we have a 36. So here should be 3 squared, we have a 9. And then we finished the complete square here. Divided by 2, we got 3. Square 3, we have a 9. So here is another one. X squared minus 4x plus which number equals x minus which number, then whole thing squared. Starting from coefficient of x, which is negative 4, divided by 2, we have a negative 2. Okay? And then 2 squared is 4. So you go like the same way as we did upstairs. 6 divided by 2, 3. 12 divided by 2, 6. 4 divided by 2, 2. Square these 2, we have a 4. Square these 3, we have a 9. Square these 6, we have a 36. Those 3 examples are about integers. Sometimes fractional numbers are involved, like this one. Start with negative 3. 3 divided by 2, so we have a fraction. 3 halves. And then 3 halves squared. 3 squared is 9. 2 squared is 4. So it's 9 over 4. So in this case, we have a fraction. Okay. So secondly, we reviewed complete square. The third thing is that we want to solve equations by completing the square. Look. Here we are given x squared minus 10x plus 24 equals 0. Now, we want to make the complete square for the left-hand side. So we need to take 24 off the position on the left-hand side. Both sides minus 24. So negative 24 cancel each other. We leave this place be blank. The right-hand side is 0 minus 24, which is negative 24. Now is the time for us to do complete square, x squared minus 10x. Inside the parentheses, we should have a half of this coefficient. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then square this 5, we have a 25. Put it right here. So 25 is the number we should put right here. Since left-hand side we add 25, right-hand side we have to add 25 because of this equal sign. You cannot simply add 25 on the left without taking care of the right-hand side. So add 25 on both sides, you make the whole equation still be equivalent to the previous one without 25. Now 25 minus 24 is positive 1. Left-hand side we have x minus 5 squared. If we choose the square root, this square will disappear, and then we have x minus 5 equals positive 1, because here is 1. And x minus 5 can also be negative 1, because we know negative 1 squared is still 1. Okay? If you add 5 on both sides, positive 5, negative 5 cancel each other. So you have a left-hand side with x left over. Right-hand side you have a 5 plus 1, which gives us 6. For the second equation, x minus 5 equals negative 1. You add 5 on both sides again. Cancel positive negative 5. With left-hand side x alone, right-hand side 5 minus 1, which gives us 4. So 6, 4 is the final answer. This equation has two answers, 6, 4. Okay, two solutions over there. Now try this one yourself. That's x squared plus 8x plus 7 equals 0. All right. Now again, step 1, take 7 out of the position, minus 7 on both sides. So we will have an x squared plus x on the left-hand side. The right-hand side is 0 minus 7, which is negative 7. So x plus 8x, we want to make a complete square. Then 8 divided by 2 should be x plus 4 as our quantity, then squared. The constant 16 should be 4 squared, okay, which is 16. Now again we add 16 on the left, we should add 16 on the right. 16 minus 7 is 9. And then here x plus 4 squared on the left-hand side. If we choose the square root, we have x plus 4 equals positive negative 3. Because positive negative 3, you square either one, you will have a positive 9. The final solution for this one is x equals negative 1 and x equals negative 7. There are two solutions right here. Try this one yourself. There are some middle steps, like here, you need to finish up. Okay, now let's look at the last one. This example says that 7x squared plus 6x plus 1 is 0. So we want to find out the solution for that. Again, take 1 out of the position, so minus 1 on both sides. Then 0 minus 1, we have a negative 1 here right now. And then the left-hand side, we have a 7x plus 6x. Be careful right here is that 7x is a problem, 7x squared. because the coefficient is not 1. Here you can see all the coefficients are 1. Okay? And then here is 7. That's the problem. So we can make this place be 1 by dividing the coefficient 7 to all of the terms right here. 7 divided by 7, then we got 1. So we need that. And 6 divided by 7, that's 6 over 7. Negative 1 divided by 7 is negative 1/7. Okay. Now we have the coefficient is 1. For the complete square of those two terms, inside the bracket should be the constant right here, the coefficient of x divided by 2. Then you have a 6 over 7 divided by 2 is like that. Then we got the complete square. What number we should put here is actually the number right here, you square it. 6 squared, 2 squared, 7 squared. It's like here. 5 squared is 25. Okay? It's like here inside the quantity, 3 over 2 squared is 9 over 4. Okay? So, we have a 6 squared over 2 squared, 7 squared. Left hand side, you add this constant. Again, because this is equation, so you have to add 6 squared over 2 squared, 7 squared on the right hand side. Okay? Now we know those three terms together is a complete square. The left hand side comes to be x plus 6 over 2 times 7, then squared. Right hand side, we have to add negative 1/7 plus this number. Those two numbers are the same. 6 squared over 2 squared times 7 squared. You know, negative 1/7 add on this one, we have to make denominators be the same. We have a 2 squared here, 7 squared here, and here we only have a 7. So we need to put another 7 down here, and then 2 squared here. Then we have a 7 times 7 is 7 squared, 2 squared is right here, so in this case denominators are the same. When the denominators are the same, we only need to do is to add numerators. Numerator is 6 squared, put here, minus negative. 2 squared is 4. 7 times 1, you put it right here. And then denominators, we don't change anything because since they are the same. Alright. Now, here is square, so we choose the square root, then square disappeared on the left hand side. The right hand side, if you choose the square root, the numerator should be square root 6 squared minus 4 times 7 times 1 with positive negative in front of it. Just as what we did right here, positive negative 1, right here, positive negative 3. I didn't write here. And downstairs, because we have a square here, 2 squared, 7 squared, you choose the square root, is just 2, 7 left over. Now, left hand side, we have a plus 6 over 2 times 7. So if we minus 6 over 2 times 7 on the left hand side, and also right hand side, then this left hand side, positive, negative, will cancel each other with x standing alone on the left hand side. Right hand side, Denominators are the same, 2, 7 for this big one, and then 2, 7, smaller one. So then we have a what? Denominators are the same, 2 times 7, so we leave it. And then negative 6, we put it right here. Positive, negative, inside the square root, the quantity is 6 squared minus 4 times 7 times 1. 6 squared minus 4 times 7 times 1. Look. Right here you can see, if we assume A is 7, B is 6, C is 1, then what we get here is that 6 is actually B. So we should put negative 6 should be replaced by negative B. Plus minus, 6 was B. So B squared minus 4, 7 is A, and C is 1, divided by 2 times A. A, here is 7, 7 is A. So that's why we have this formula. This is the way right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, we get the quadratic formula. You should use the quadratic formula to solve the equations. Okay? So this quadratic formula, please remember that, and then plug in the numbers. You should have the value x. So let's calculate the x. We know 6 equals 2 times 3. Positive radical h. H is 2 squared times 2. Choose the radical, because here is 2 squared. With radical sign, this 2 can be out. And then inside there is another 2, so times radical 2. So radical h is actually 2 radical 2. Now we have a 2 radical 2 plus minus. Negative 2 times 3. Downstairs is 2 times 7. And you have a 2, 1 upstairs, 2, 2, 1, 2 downstairs, 2 2's upstairs, but with plus minus. So you can cancel this 2 with the 2 upstairs. Then you have a negative 3 plus minus. This 2 is cancelled, so you have a radical 2. Downstairs is 7. So this is the final answer for this x. Again, there are 2 solutions. Okay? Quadratic formula is a little bit complicated. Please use this one. Choose some questions from the book. Apply the formula. Then you will know how to use that. I will see you in next lecture.